it's a sad week. We lost one of the great ones, one of the most beloved guys in the business, James Harris, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. You worked with him a lot, and you were the first guy that I thought of to be on the podcast for a tribute to James. I know that you have a lot to share about him. Let's start off. When was the first time you met James?
My first recollection, I'm sure I'm right, is 1978. He came into Knoxville to do a couple of shots. I think he was heading from some independent, like back in the day, we called them outlaw promotions.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was coming from a promotion in West Virginia. He got booked by Ronald Fuller, and I met him in the dressing room that night, and he was Sugar Bear Harris at that time.
Yeah, good old Sugar Bear Harris. Many people don't know he had a great career in England. He was on World of Sport, went right to the top and worked Big Daddy, did some work in Germany as well for Otto. In fact, when I was on tour with James in Germany, and we were in Hanover, he said that he had a fan who was a female fan, he said, but just a pen pal, nothing more than that. But he said that they were consistent pen pals for something like 15 years. And he was so excited. I'll never forget, we're on the bus, and he said, I'm going to finally get to meet her, to get to see her. You know, it's been the first time in so many years that he got to see her. He was so excited. And that's the type of guy he was. He was very, very genuine and had such a huge heart. And, you know, he wouldn't hurt a soul. I mean, unless you pissed him off, of course. But he was just a great human being. Wouldn't you agree, Kev?
Yeah, he was a great guy. What year was that you were in Germany?
1991.
Yeah, and then that's when I worked with him in Japan. Isn't it 92?
Yes, it is. That's the same time. That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
with Taz, I believe. Taz was over there with you, right, Kev?
Yeah. And there was a bunch. I was there with the Sheik, and I was, Sabu, and later Mick Foley came in, and Terry. But James, it was crazy because I was a heel, and James actually turned me babyface. Tokyo, I was wrestling James, and James was, for a big guy, he was so smooth. And, you looked at James, and this is no disrespect. James, he was carrying a little bit of a pouch, you know what I mean? But his conditioning, unbelievable. You wouldn't think. And back in that day, I was in pretty good cardio shape. We were at Currion Hall, and I had been heel there for a while, and James came in, and boy, he turned me babyface because he drugged me. He did my shtick on me. He came out and attacked me and drugged me around the arena, and then we got up, we walked all the way up to the second balcony, and he goes to throw me over, and they start chanting my name, Sullivan, and James says, try to throw me over, and of course I'm not going to throw him over, but he turned me babyface, and he got over like gangbusters everywhere he went. And here's the thing, I really cut my teeth in Florida as a young boy, so I always had that little bit of, ooh, is that a little too much gimmick, and then later on I became a gimmick. So, you know what I mean? I always said, ooh, is that too much? But James handled that, and people believed that. We were talking earlier off radio, and we were talking about it was a simpler time then, and it was almost like a more innocent time then.
He was innocent,
Yeah, the thing about James was he never fell out of character in the ring. In the dressing room, he's such a pleasure to be around. Like you said, he was a good human being. And I never saw him get upset, except one time he was telling me a story, and I don't know who upset him, but, James got in their face, and James was a big, rugged guy. Yeah, man, did James play football in the semi-pro, like they used to have the Hartford Chartered Oaks where Dusty played?
I am not aware.
I thought he once told me that, but I don't know. So how long were you guys in Germany?
Well, we were there for 5 weeks. We toured Spain. We hit every major spot in Spain. We just had a ball. We just had a ball. And in Norway, it was very interesting. We played Oslo, Norway, and the big thing was we got a lot of publicity because the local midgets protested the show because we had midget wrestling on the show. And the midgets living in Oslo protested with signs and everything outside the building because the midgets there are protected by the government. They get a check. So here you got some smaller guys that are making a living, that are showing that, you know, you can get out there and be something. And instead of getting behind it, they did the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But that was something else in Oslo, Norway. I've never seen anything like. You should have seen it, Kev. You would have popped if you would have saw the midgets and the dwarves protesting with signs outside the building. It was an unreal sight. But we had a great time.
It was only a small disturbance, right?
Right. It was only a small disturbance. That's right.